kind of sad whenever you struggle to beat Ashe. We'll go for check out all the stuff that we got. Alright, so now he has Overwhelm. That's good. As for relics, we are using the Armadillo Shell, which gives us 1 health and tough. These are all the relics that we have so far. Originally, I was thinking of dropping Everfrost on her, but it kind of defeats the purpose of it because Daybreak doesn't weaken units. Like her Daybreak stun doesn't weaken units, so this is kind of pointless. Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll be okay. True Ice Flail might also be something useful. They don't have that many elusive units within that mission though, so I'm not too worried about that at least. Alright. We're going to go back into it. Yeah, regeneration's nice. I just don't have that relic. We'll go for Domination once again. And we're going into the Stony Suppressor. Okay, and we'll be replacing Sunburst, and we'll keep the rest. They don't start with any mana, as I talked about last time. Yeah, I gotcha. I can go over it slower after I win or lose this, I suppose. We'll be attacking with our Slowy Soldier. We're fortunate enough to draw a Solari Sunhawk off of the Philosopher's Stone. And we'll drop down the Solari Shield Bearer here. And we'll block with it too. And we'll pass. We'll hold off on using Zenith Blade. And of course, we're going to drop down our mighty Leona.
The sun's splendor revealed.
And we'll attack. We have unit advantage. Why not? I don't mind losing 1 unit. And we'll end the round there. The next card I play, Leona will level up. So we'll use Sunburst to get rid of the Badger Bear.
I am the bulwark against darkness.
I am the bulwark against darkness. I am Morgan Freeman. We'll be attacking with both units, though. And we get unit advantage off of that and win. Almost. We almost win. We'll win on this turn.
Devotion to battle.
Daylight everlasting.
Okay, and that brings us into the rewards, and then into a power. All of these suck. I guess I'll go for the Sentry, though, just to have the draw. And we'll go into the Support Champion, too. Well, you know, that kind of figures. Last time we had the Lurk power. This time we get a Lurk Champion. You hate to see it. I don't really know what would be best for Leona here. I mean, Malphite technically would be because of its play effect. I know, it is. It's horrible. I could say fucking go with Diana. think I'll just do that, yeah. Alright, and we have item chest or shop. I'm going to go for item chest this time. Mix it up and go up against the Omen Hawk. We'll be replacing Cygnus. I think that's how you pronounce that. And Blinded Mystic. And Sunburst. Pretty much everything except Zenith Blade. This is actually a pretty good hand. It kind of plays itself in a way.
Raise your weapon, Sunwood.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something like that, Lila.
Punish transgressions.
We'll drop down the Avarosian Sentry here.
They're out there. I'll spot 'em.
I've got these.
And since they have the Unscarred Reaver, we're not going to attack. Because it'll only be buffing it. And we don't really have all that many cards with high power. So, no point.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
Here we'll drop down this Lari Sunhawk, which will stun the Sentry. I'm more tempted to attack now. Because we'll at least get 4 damage off.
You'll regret when I lift this.
Fortunately for us, they
The winter's
block the Sentry.
Ready the torches.
And I will sacrifice the Sentry to get rid of the Reaver. And they'll also let us draw. I don't think that could have gone better, to be honest with you. I think that went pretty well. We have the option of using Zenith Blade here. Doing so doesn't help us win that much, so it wouldn't really matter, in my opinion. It does cost 3. I was kind of hoping to use the Lunaria Priestess's Nightfall, but I won't be able to do that either way. So we'll drop down Iula, and we'll give Spell Shield and Overwhelm to our Sunhawk.
Gotcha.
We do have a unit advantage, but they would take 2 of our units. We'll just pass. We'll play things a little slow.
I'll learn my scars.
This turn we drop Ravon.
Daylight everlasting. Solari control all that her warmth touches.
The kindly Tavern Keeper does kind of stall this out a little bit.
Piercing rays.
We'll be attacking with Ravon as well. They didn't block it, so he just ate the 5 damage. I like it.
Power before our might.
We'll be trying to block as much as we can here.
The guilty will burn.
And utilize as much as we can. We'll let the Unscarred Reaver do 1 damage. That's fine.
Alert the village.
We keep unit advantage here. Alright, we'll drop down the Sunforger.
Shining gifts from the sky.
And we'll drop down Diana.
By the moon's crescent blade.
They do have some pretty strong units here, and that's okay. We'll be attacking with all of them.
To battle.
And we'll challenge
I will
one of their units. No matter what we win.
lift with your back, not wait.
We will win.
Too soon.
We'll drop down another Raybon.
Our sun will not set today.
And we'll drop down the Shield Bearer.
Unyielding light.
They decided to attack. We'll block with Raybon, which will destroy their Bull Elnuk. And we'll attack with all of our units, and
Odds ahead.
this will be victory. Alright. That takes us into the powers. Well, no, that takes us into the rewards, not powers. Oh well. We don't have that many cards in hand. We'll go for the Evershade Stalker. I like having it with Farsight. And hopefully, this item chest will give us mana deposit on it. But it did not. We'll go for quick attack on the Lunar Priestess, I think. And we'll go into the Wolf Rider. We didn't take this path the last time, so it'll be 2 different encounters. I think the upper one was easier for us, though. And we'll replace pretty much everything in our hand. Actually, we will replace our full hand. We'll drop down the Solari Soldier.
Raise your weapon, Sunwood.
And we'll attack with it as well.
Transgressions.
For a free 3 damage. And win the round there.
I learned my scars.
They drop down the Reaver with all their mana, so we'll drop down the Solari Sunhawk and stun it. That way we don't have to worry about it blocking, and then we'll do 4 damage here.
Devotion to battle.
It's back to being our attack turn. We'll drop down the Solari Soldier.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics. We see through all.
And now we'll drop down the Evershade Stalker. And we'll be attacking with all of our units here. They're forced to block.
Ready. Maybe.
Warrior.
And they do take a bit of damage here as well.
Scar.
Hear that? Gotcha.
We'll drop down Leona.
The power of the immortal sun.
And this helps us a lot.
Behold the divine power of the sun.
So we level up Leona there. That also stuns a unit. Using her Daybreak power. And so it's one less unit that we have to worry about.
These eyes see all.
They decided to attack us, which is a bad decision on their part. Because after this attack's over, we're just going to attack, and this will be the end of them because they don't have any mana. Or any cards to block us with.
Soul Invictus.
I know, it was too fast. I do like Against the Odds, although I didn't use it the last time. And we'll go for the champion item chest here. They gave us pretty bad items, to be honest. I'll go for a Diana that has barrier. Why not? We go to the healer. There's not much for us to do. We can look to cut something. I guess we'll cut Ayula. That lets us draw Daybreak and Nightfall more, like you were saying. And now we're up against Ashe. This is a pretty okay hand. I'll just replace Rivon. There's a lot of 2-cost units here. We do have the attack token, so we don't have to really worry about Omen Hawk just yet. And even if we take damage here, it's kind of okay as long as we beat them. We'll drop down the Sunhawk. They don't drop any units down, so we get 2 free damage off. And win the round there. Here we'll drop down the shield bearer.
clad in shining sunlight.
Winter is the Freljord's
They do drop down the Rhyme Tusk. We'll still be attacking with both. I'm assuming that the Rhyme Tusk would... Yeah. So we're just going to trade units here. That's okay. And when they're on there. This turn they could drop down Ashe. And it's their attack turn.
On one arrow.
We of course drop down Leona.
On the battlefield. Behold the sun's holy light.
If they attack with the Rhyme Tusk Shaman, they'll be blocked by Leona. So we'll
Quivering strength.
use Leona to attack and try to get it to block, but it didn't, which is okay. Oh, they do take out our shield bearer though with Shatter,
Trespassers.
since it was previously frostbitten.
The frost reveals all to me.
And here we'll drop down the shield bearer.
My faith protects me.
That levels up Leona.
To shine like the sun, you must burn like it.
Yeah, I mean, Rhyme Tusk does a ton here.
Come on in.
Yeah, both Rhyme Tusk and Ashe are major threats to this node. I actually have a decent decision to make here. Do I want to go for the Invoke? I mean, the Lunar... the Priestess wouldn't be able to do anything else. So I guess I'll just go for Diana.
Heavens are divided,
They...
but sun and
She
moon
does
are
have
one
Quick
light.
Attack. And she does have Barrier. And I'll use her Pale Cascade to buff her as well. This will give her 3 damage.
Silver light.
And I just kind of have to hope that they don't have a Frostbite spell in hand. That's all.
Stand and fight.
We'll attack with those two. And we'll be challenging Ashe.
Face your heretic.
Let's talk about your dad.
And we'll see how this goes.
Unify
Alright.
the tribes.
They actually didn't use their Frostbite thing. I think it costs 3 mana.
I'll lead us to victory.
That's got to be like one of the slowest and most boring level up animations.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Our whole hand is Nightfall cards, so that doesn't help us much. We're just going to pass here, I suppose.
Be a target.
But we can't block with any of our units. And we'll pass again.
The frost reveals all to me.
We'll drop down the Sunhawk.
The sun's splendor revealed.
I got you, yeah. So they didn't have enough mana to use it. We'll be using Pale Cascade once again to buff our Diana this time. And we'll drop down an Evershade Stalker, which levels up Diana.
Resplendence, but they could not break me.
Leave your bags in the door.
And now we'll drop down the Priestess. And we will pick... we would go for the Destroyer. I think that's not the worst choice. But they don't have any real way of dealing with Elusive either. So this is kind of tricky. Whichever will be dropping next turn, I guess. So I guess I'll go with the Trickster. I think Elusive's better in my opinion.
Quiet reflection begins.
Okay, we're going to attack with Diana for sure. The Evershade Stalker. And our Lunar Priestess is not going to be attacking with us. Just kidding. We'll be challenging the Rhyme Tusk Shaman. I actually kind of think it's more of a threat than Ashe's in some ways. Taking out either of them is fine, though.
To the ice.
Next turn, I shouldn't have as many Frostbitten because we just took out their Shaman. We still have to deal with their power. And their attack, of course. We'll drop down the Solari Soldier here. This will give us another unit to block with. And Leona's power work, which will stun Ashe. Of course, they use Frostbite. We do have card advantage here this turn. And they shatter another one. Okay. We'll use Pale Cascade here. Not like we can, stop Shatter from doing anything to us, but we'll use it to give Leona some stats. And that will actually... never mind. Frostbite works a little different. Okay, never mind. Since Leona has one power, she can block. I was thinking just because they were frostbitten that she wouldn't be able to block. Alright, well anyways, we're going to drop down Cygnus. And we'll give... I guess it doesn't matter who we give Elusive to. We'll give it to our Solari Soldier here.
When will we strike?
Soon, a blood moon hails the sun's demise.
We'll attack with all of our units. And we'll challenge Ashe. Why not? And I'll also attack with the Shield Bearer. It is their attack turn, but they decided to end it, so that's great for us. And this time we are able to take down Ashe. We'll attack with all of our units here.
Let's talk about your dad.
No. For freedom.
Winter, take you.
Okay, here we'll use Sun first to destroy one of the Tavern Keepers. And we'll drop down the Trickster.
Bask in the light's radiance.
Not and ready.
We're still going to drop down the Trickster. And one around there.
How about another round?
We'll be using Leona to block one of their cards. They'll be eating the 6 damage. We'll drop down the Solari Soldier.
The one true light.
They do only have one card here. So, we're really putting the pressure on them. And this is really close. It doesn't have to be, but I guess it ended up being that way anyways. They do use their last card, which is Shatter, to destroy our Trickster. If we attack right now, we could win. Or I'm just gonna, drop down Diana and a couple Evershade Stalkers. Just to have a bit of fun here. And we'll attack with all of them.
Unwavering strength.
Stay back.
We didn't have to, but overkill damage to their Nexus is fun. So, we're doing it anyways.
Our deeds will be written in the heavens.
Okay. We are... Oh, man. I love Quick Strike Blade. I do. But having it on either of these champions doesn't necessarily help. Like, if I had it for Diana, I mean, we're going to go up against Garen at some point. If we had it for Diana, she'd just get popped whenever I drop her down if I dropped her down after they had Garen or something like that. And they do have stronger units because it's Demacia. Oh, the agony. I guess I'll go for Pickaxe on Leona. I could have went for Pickaxe on Diana, though. Since she has quick attack, she'd utilize it better. Oh well. We'll have Disarm. And we'll go into the Unscarred Reaver and into the Champion Item Chest. This is probably one of the worst hands I've seen so far playing Leona.
I learned my scars.
Well, that's going to be a very boring attack turn for them if they were to take that. Waste of time. We'll drop down the Solari Sunhawk, which utilizes its stun,
These old eyes still see far and clear.
and we'll pass. We don't have any power that, buffs us whenever we attack, so there's no real point.
Our homes.
I guess we'll block here, though. We could use against the odds, but it's only going to give us +1/+1. It is our attack turn, and I'm going to have another butt here in a second. But we can activate Nightfall on Diana, which I guess doesn't fully matter, but it kind of does because they have the Reaver. We'll pass.
Hear that?
Unfortunately, we can't use against the odds whenever they have a skill. I know. And we'll pass again. We'll drop down Leona here.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield.
And since I do have unit advantage, I'm able to use against the odds on her, which will buff her.
This'll take the chill off.
We'll drop down her Yvonne.
May our light shine forever. If they're out there, I'll spot them.
They do have quite a number of advantage against us, though. We'll attack with both of these units here.
Strength.
Diana does have Targon's Brace,
Light this.
so our Yvonne's a little bit stronger.
Tell me where to aim.
Face my shield.
Back, unbeliever.
We'll block accordingly. That way we take 2 of their units. We keep our units. And those units had higher stats too, so that's always fun. We'll drop down... So if we used Morning Light here, we wouldn't be able to drop down Diana. We'll use a Blinded Mystic. We'll buff our Yvonne because he has Overwhelm, and we'll silence the Reaver. So now we don't have to worry about her at all. And now we'll drop down Diana.
Fate has delivered me to you once again.
Our destinies are entwined.
We'll be attacking with most of our units here. I don't think I want to attack with a Blinded Mystic, though. And I'll have Diana challenge
Face your
the Everosin Marksman. And we'll commit to this attack.
Ready the torches.
This does help us with our unit advantage. I don't know why they didn't use the Bone Scryer to block, though. That's kind of an interesting choice.
To survive.
We'll use Sunburst to get rid of it now.
To shine like the sun, you must burn like it.
And that levels up Leona.
Back to bones.
I've got these.
As long as we attack with more than 5 damage, there's really nothing that they would be able to do as of yet. So we'll attack with both of them.
Sun's glory.
Stop this foolery. Feed my cat.
We basically clear a couple of their units for free.
So,
We'll drop down the Solari Soldier here as well.
Bless the faithful and sear the heretics.
the sun's splendor revealed.
And when they're around there, we'll be attacking again, this time immediately.
Embers and smoke. Worthy of the wind.
I couldn't save you.
They weren't able to do anything here, so
Daylight everlasting.
as long as we play this smart, we should be okay. As long as our hand is forgiving and we don't constantly get high cost units, I think we should be okay. Alright, and now for our rewards, we'll go for the Farsight Alteration. So just to talk about this for a second, Sunburst would actually be good here, but Solari Soldier guarantees me a turn 1 card. And we're going to go into the champion item chest, which we're forced to anyways, and we will be able to pick Regeneration on Leona. A little bit of foreshadowing there in the chat. I end up getting Regeneration on Leona anyways. And we'll go for a Chilling Prophecy. It's not the worst. And we will also go for Rush. We don't have any rerolls. And we'll go for Unspeakable Horror here too. Indeed. There is another shop after this that we'll go through. We'll go up against the Kindly Tavern Keeper here. This is now an okay hand because of our Farsight alteration that we have on the Solari Soldier. We'll drop it down. And we'll also attack with it this turn. If they decide to block, they lose their unit. They chose to eat the 3 damage instead, which I'm more than happy with.
If they're out there, I'll spot them.
Here we'll drop down the Sunhawk. They decided not to attack, but we will. We're slowly whittling away at them, which is great. We'll be using Rush here. We'll give Quick Attack to our Solari Soldier, and we'll drop down Diana.
Embrace the night.
This'll take the chill off.
Here we'll attack with all 3 of our units. We'll use Diana to challenge the Omen Hawk,
Heretic.
and we'll commit to this attack. I don't know why they didn't use the Avarosian Sentry to block the Solari Soldier. Apparently they don't value the last breath draw 1 that much. Kind of weird. We'll drop down Leona here, which will stun. Yeah, I guess not. They're very content with the 3 cards that they have in hand. And we'll attack with all of our units once again.
Let's talk about your dad.
We'll drop down Ravon here, which levels up Leona.
I am the bulwark against darkness.
True, I agree. I don't know why they're being so protective over their sentry. It's kind of interesting to see. We still have unit advantage. We can attack here. We'll attack with Leona and Ravon. And we'll hold off on attacking with the Soldier and Diana. We'll at least get one of their cards out of here. And we trade damage with another as well. We'll use Rush on Leona here. And now we'll use Pale Cascade on Rayvon because he also has Overwhelm. We'll use Pale Cascade once again because we drew Diana. And we'll attack with all of our units here. We'll use Diana to challenge the Bull Elnuk. And we'll commit to this attack, which will net us the victory.
A full moon casts her light across the land.
The sentry that they played on turn 1 lasted the entire match. They were very protective over it. Very protective. Okay, so we have the powers from this. We will go for the Lunari Priestess with Giant's Belt. And now we have the shop. And there's a bunch of junk. With Dragon's Rage and Leona having regeneration, I just think that's a free... That's some free stats right there. Reaver's Row is actually not that bad. But it's a 5 cost that summons 1 cost units. But it does buff allies, so maybe it's not the worst. We'll go for Flash Freeze, though. And we'll finish using up all of our gold on it. The reason why we want it is to be able to do something against Garen, at least, if we aren't able to stat check him with Leona. In my opinion, Garen isn't as hard as Ashe, but since our Leona is kind of underleveled, there's still a chance to lose, of course. We will replace the Solari Soldier because we don't need him in hand because he has Farsight Alteration. Oh, and we'll drop down the Soldier. And we'll attack with it unless they summon a unit that is stronger than it. They did not, so we'll attack. If they block, they'll just be free stats because it has Dragon.
I sculpt what others only dream of.
Here we'll drop down the Sentry.
Nothing escapes my watch.
And I'm going to be very protective over it here, as you can see.
Look out for reavers. No mercy for heretics.
Very protective.
Sunward. Alert the village.
I don't mind trading units with them. It is our turn 3. We'll drop down the Shield Bearer here.
My faith protects me.
I know! And we'll use Rush. Just for shits and giggles, basically.
Light
And we'll commit to this attack. Since we have Dragon,
for deployment.
they're not blocking as frequently as they normally would. Or, well, yeah. Since we have Fury.
I'll write my own story.
We'll drop down Leona here.
Daylight breaks on the battlefield. The sun's splendor.
Which then makes it a 2v2. Unless they drop down another unit. They decided not to.
Answer to me.
We'll be attacking with just Leona here.
I'm ready. What could have been?
And now they're starting to feed me stats.
Trespassers! Today we turn the tide of war.
They could have done that way better. But I guess I understand they wanted to use the Vanguard Redeemer's power. We'll drop down the Shield Bearer.
Unyielding light. To shine like the sun, you must burn like it.
We fight for those who cannot.
Here we'll drop down Diana.
The heavens
And we'll attack
Wavering strength.
with all of our units here. We'll use Diana to challenge Garen.
I will be heard.
Why not? And then they'll probably use, yeah, the defender to block Shield Bearer. That's okay, we got some damage off on their Nexus.
Stay resolute.
I was having the Frozen Thrall
Who approaches?
was pretty good after all because it lets us be able to compete with Garen a bit better. Well, we use Sunburst here anyways to destroy him.
Glorious light rains down.
And that triggers Leona's stun power. So they only have one unit to really attack with.
Remember the fallen.
Okay. We'll be attacking with Leona as well as that
Let away doubt.
and that.
Won't pass these walls.
This is a pretty good attack for us. We take 3 and lose 1. Then we get some damage and onto their Nexus.
New recruit reporting in.
And we'll pass because we're kind of forced to.
Night descends.
I just woke up too, so I apologize for yawning. We'll be committing to this attack. Our Leona and Frostguard Thrall have Overwhelm, which guarantees us the victory against Garen.
Soul Invictus.
Soul Invictus. Okay, we also got an A, which isn't that bad. We're nowhere close to our fastest time, which was 13 minutes. But we did level up Leona.